Coach on the mic. WTF Nation. Stand up. Veterans in the building. Let's go. We breaking down the scores. NCAA to the pros. If the Jets or the Giants play, you already know we roasting them, cooking them, put them on the grill. Sports talk artillery, yeah, we too real. King with the stats, coach with the smoke. WTF Nation, laugh till you choke. Wednesday, heat, 8 p.m., no debate. Sports Bar Nation, we never show up late. Oh, this is the Sports Bar. Wednesday nights we go hard. Veterans strong and we stand tall. WTF Nation, we run the ball. Hey, hey, turn the lights on. It's Sports Bar, come get your hype on. Hey, turn the lights on. It's Sports Bar, come get your hype on. WTF Nation, Wednesday domination. King and coach in rotation. The Sports Bar's sensation. From kickoff to buzzer beaters, we break it all down. Wednesday 8 p.m. the live show in town. It's the Sports Bar where legends hang out. WTF Nation Radio. We out.
Man, I still have not fixed the intro. What's up? What's good? What is happening? WTF Nation Radio. I am the actual King Smith, your sports host here tonight for the Sports Bar at WTF Nation Radio. Usually we have two hosts tonight, and I'm trying to figure out where Coach is at. Looking at the calendar, I don't think Coach was off today, but maybe, just maybe, he had to take care of some things. So we are going to be probably a solo show tonight unless he pops up. Maybe because his game 4 of the NBA Finals, in which the Knicks are playing against the San Antonio Spurs, that's why we don't see him. He might be 3 sheets into the wind, so to speak. And y'all just gonna have to see this lovely face here tonight. Hope y'all are doing okay. We've got a couple of things to cover here. Let me look at my notes to make sure that I've got everything set up on the eve of destruction, so to speak. Before we get into it, let's acknowledge the people that are watching. We're streaming across multiple platforms. If there's a like button on your platform, do me a favor. Make sure that you hit that like button. Coach would say, what do you hear? What do you say? I can't do it quite like how he does, but we are here. I got a video that I'm going to play before we get into the show. This video was sent to me by no less than 25 people. And I'm not entirely kidding here. If you have something funny to send, you can DM it to me. Send it to me at the actual King Smith on Facebook. You can email it at king at WTFnationradio.com. Or if you follow my Facebook page, which I don't keep secrets. I'm not a private person. My Facebook page is open. Shoot me a friend request or a follow over there. I don't know what Facebook calls it. And send me any clips or interesting sports stories that you have over there. It's actually what helps build the shows here. Anybody that sends stuff, you're basically a contributor or a viewer at this point. I'm sorry, a contributor. But this clip cracked me up. Watch this video that has gone viral on pretty much all platforms. Take a look. Yeah. Hey, run that back. That kid looked like he was about to do something. All right. He got kicked. He had a good little block, but his glasses were crooked. So he said, "Hey man, hold my glasses real quick." Took the glasses off and did a double round kick to somebody else and knocked him clean out. Everybody else sat there and just watched. Oh man, I can't tell y'all how many times I laughed watching that clip right there. All right, let me get this. Let's get this off my screen. So what we got tonight? We got the finals over for the Stanley Cup. We got the finals for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Serena Williams is back in the saddle or back on the court, so to speak. How did she do? And I think we're going to open up with the Serena Williams story. So let me grab this from here. All right, let me put this on the screen here. Serena Williams returns to the court. The greatest women player of all time walked back onto the court for the first time in nearly over 4 years, and she didn't just show up and make an appearance, but she won. After 4 years away, Serena Williams made her turn at the HSBC Championships at Queen's Club in London, playing doubles with rising star Victoria Mboko, and they won. Williams, who's 44 years old, said that the Queen's Club feels like the perfect place for me to begin this next chapter. Right? So what does she mean by that next chapter? What could be her motivation for wanting to come back out after, I'm going to say, retirement and come back out and play? What she's quoted as saying, it's really about my kids getting the chance to see me play. Personally, she said of her own on the court performance that she would give herself a C- after winning. But look, when you are the GOAT and you get the chance to play with somebody who's also not too bad themselves, I think that having Serena Williams as your doubles partner is a no-brainer. All right. A lot of people think that there's going to be this grand comeback. No, no. When you're 40-something years old as a professional athlete who's played as long as she's played, your body can only endure so much. So while it was great to see Serena back on the court doing her thing, she's not going to be out there having that much of an amazing comeback. But think about this. Venus played until she was 45 years old. So do we think that we're going to see Serena Williams go back over on the single side and try and outdo her sister? I'll put it in the comments. Let me know. I don't think so. But I could be wrong. And I think that it would be dope to see Serena playing at Wimbledon, going out there for a singles draw. We got bench warmers in the building said, what's good? What's cracking? And she's going to pull a Tom Brady. Look, Tom Brady was an anomaly. Tom doing what he did at such a high level being able to perform in what's basically a young man's game. All sports are a young person's game, really, when you think about it. People like LeBron James, Tom Brady, who else were playing at an elite level? Race car drivers, eh. Golf, maybe. You can look at what some of those athletes do and say that, they've got the right longevity to be able to pull off what they've pulled off. Uh, is she still going to be better than a good bit of people playing the sport right now? Yes. But overall, nah. I'd still put money on her. Don't get me wrong, I would absolutely put money on her. We got the World Cup arriving tomorrow. And man, it is for people that follow soccer. I don't call it football, I call it soccer. The World Cup is a big deal. It is going to take over certain cultures' timelines. And while it starts tomorrow, a lot of the real sports stories have came out today. Right? So the 2026 World Cup kicks off tomorrow with Mexico hosting South Africa. We got 48 teams, 3 countries, making this one of the biggest World Cups ever. The final for the World Cups is set for July 19th at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The opener, for those of y'all that want to catch it, is free. Let me say that louder. Free, capital Free, on Tubi, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. All right. Mexico's got this goalkeeper, Ochoa, who's the only player from either side that was on the 2010 World Cup and the 2026 World Cup squads. Dude has been playing in World Cups for nearly 16 years. That is insane. Now, the U.S. men's national team, I was looking at some of the sports betting because y'all know I'm a betting man. Let me see where I can go and make some money and see where I can put that money and try and make me some money. Right now, a lot of the smart money doesn't have the U.S. men's national team going past the quarterfinals. So if you're betting on them making it to the finals, I wouldn't put my money there. The U.S. specifically hasn't gotten that far since 2002, which is when I graduated high school, ending in round 16 in 2010, 2014, and in 2022. So is the last 4 years going to be a big difference for the U.S. team to be able to make it out of the round of 16? We'll find out. I know where I put my money, and I wouldn't put my money on it whatsoever. All right. Now, some controversy has came out of it, right? Because a Somalian referee named Omar Artan, I'm not going to try to pronounce his middle name. It looks like Abdul Qadir, considered one of Africa's top officials, was refused entry into the U.S. at Miami due to vetting concerns and went through an 11-hour immigration interview in which he ended it by saying, and I'm quoting, "I am very, very disappointed. I'm just simply a referee who's trying to live his dream, the biggest dream of my life, to come to the World Cup." Before this thing kicked off, I figured some type of immigration issue was going to pop up. And if you've never been detained at an airport or brought over for additional questioning, man, I've had it happen to me. And I'm a US citizen. I can't imagine people from certain countries like Somali having the type of issues that they were going to have being immigrated coming over here doing something like the World Cup. And I had wondered, and I was having this conversation with somebody, if that was going to keep people from being able or being willing to participate in something like this. Not just players, but think about like the support staff, team trainers, officials like referees who might have immigration issues because of how our current administration is. It's a conversation that some of these athletes and their representatives have to have, no matter really what country that they're going into. But there seems to be a little bit of extra scrutiny for those that are coming over into the US now, which is tragic because as a US citizen, I crossed over into Canada not too long ago. And man, let me tell you, that Canadian border official was an asshole, plain and simple. I'm going to look right into the camera as I say that. Screw that dude. That dude was a straight up ass. I wish I had his name. I'd call his name out. If Canada blocked me, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I don't see people trying to run to get into Canada anytime soon. Shout out to God happened to be said, good evening. She was there. You know what? I ain't gonna bring you into this. Thank you for tuning in. God happened to me. There were a lot of other things that came out of the World Cup as well. Iranian fans have had their ticket allocations pulled entirely. The Iranian playing squad based in Mexico must reportedly enter and leave the U.S. on the same day as their matches. They can't even stay in the country like other people. And when asked about Iran's World Cup participation, Trump told Politico, I really don't care. I think Iran is a very badly defeated country. They're running on fumes. I just quoted what he said and I tried to give my best Trump impersonation. Y'all, how'd I do? Iran's sports minister declared that Iran cannot participate under any circumstances, while the national team fired back saying that the U.S. should withdraw instead. Since FIFA, not any individual or any country runs the tournament. Now, I got a question for y'all in the chat. Is FIFA too spineless to stand up to the political pressure? Should this tournament even be here in the US? It can be great for the economy. It's definitely great for, certain area. I know I wouldn't want to be up in East Rutherford right now with the championships going on as well in the NBA plus the World Cup. Certain businesses and places are going to thrive and have a boom in revenue. And shout out to them. Those small businesses, those big businesses, great for them, great for taxes, all of that stuff. For the sports fans that wants to participate, you got to have your munyan or money, as the young people say. They call it munyan for those of y'all that are uninitiated. You've got to have the right type of money because our money ain't the same. And we are going to talk about that as we talk about the prices of these Knicks tickets, which we did during the last stream as well, or at least the last one that I participated in. And what does it say about a referee that got denied entry after an 11-hour interrogation? What are you going to interrogate somebody for 11 hours? What does that say about the host country and how the host country is showing up? I get that you have a job to do. I do. I was in aviation. I had to immigrate, which I said the right word twice, but there's two different immigrates. I'm not going to educate y'all on what the difference between immigrate and immigrate is. Y'all can figure it out. But I had to do it for several countries and things that I've been to. And you have to understand countries' rules about immigration and things like that. It's interesting the way that politics can insert itself into sports and how it can ruin a good thing, in my opinion. K-Mill Media said, I know an angry artist in Dallas that is suing FIFA for painting over his murals. Yo, do you have a link for that, K-Mill Media? If you got a link for that, I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that on Google. Let me go to the Googles. We're gonna do it live. Let me see if I got it.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can share this screen here. Thank you, K-Mill Media, for that story. Let me see here. Boom. Screen share. We're going to do it live. Let's see what Google has to say about this. So this is from AI Overview here. I just typed in artists suing FIFA, and this came up not too long ago. Marine environmental artist Robert Weiland has filed a $25 million lawsuit against FIFA after work crews painted over his iconic Wailing Wall 82 mural in downtown Dallas to make space for the World Cup promotions. The 8-story, 17,000 square foot mural was painted in 1999, and this legal battle centers over several specific components and arguments. The lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court in Dallas against FIFA, the building's owner, 3PZ Property Company, and the management company, Slate Asset Management, is seeking at least $25 million in damages. Weiland's lawsuit alleges violations of the Visual Artists' Rights Act, also VARA. I'm going to say VARA instead of VERA. Enacted in 1990. VARA protects publicly displayed artwork of recognized stature from intentional destruction or alteration unless a written waiver is obtained from the artist, which Weiland says that he never provided. FIFA is fired back saying that they deny any involvement in painting over the mural, stating that the Federation has no involvement in this whatsoever. The building management response is stated that they were approached in March by the North Texas FIFA World Cup Organizing Committee and local groups with the request to use the wall for a new public art installation, and were reportedly assured that Weiland had been notified. So you got some he said, she said shit over here. Let me go see if I can find this mural. I hate that word. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I'm clicking on links over here, seeing if I can find the mural. You know what? Let me just Google. Let me do this here. Copy, put it up in here, paste. I see what this thing look like and bring up images. There it is right here. Think y'all can see this on the screen. Let me click visit, and then once this loads up, I'm going to share the tab that has the painting. Right here, the Weiland Foundation at 505 Arcade Street in Dallas, Texas. Or at least that's where it used to be. Hey, if you're a fan of art, that looks dope. That looks dope. On the Texas Utilities Building, dedicated April 16 of 1999 by Herschel Walker, NFL, and the CEO of J.C. Penney. Shout out to K-Mill Media. Thanks for bringing that up. Why could they just not use a temporary banner? That's what the locals are asking. It was a big landmark for that area of Dallas. I'm trying to think, because I've been to Dallas area. I've been to Fort Worth. I didn't really get a chance to explore, but I can't recall on the times that I've been through Dallas if I've seen that mural before. Man, that's tragic. Tragedy. K Mills earlier said the essence of what the World Cup is supposed to be a direct contradiction to this administration and its goals. You think it would not be a big problem given FIFA gave out that peace prize 100%. We got Tan in the building say, yo, 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 you know it's Tan in the building when you get the three yo's. Hey, what's up, Tan? Appreciate you tuning in, my man. And Bitch Warmer said that's a crazy paint, man. It looked dope. That's unfortunate. Something that has been, what, over 2 decades? Ruined? As Stewie says from Family Guy, ruined. I lived in Fort Worth for 8 years and remember seeing it from time to time. Well, that is a tragedy. Thank you for bringing that up. Man, woo, see? Contributor to the live stream today. What we got up here next? Next segment here. The Stanley Cup. Man, okay. And what should be a surprise for people that follow NHL, you got the Stanley Cup in which the Las Vegas team is going up against the Carolina Hurricanes. And man, oh man, we've got a good one. The series is tied at 2-2. Game 5 is tomorrow. After last night's matchup, this is going to be a hard one to call. It's likely going to go through 7 games. I don't watch hockey, but I do keep up with the championship games. That's really how I am with all sports besides football and basketball. I'll watch basketball throughout the year from time to time. I love football, the real football, college football, especially, and pro football as well. Hell, I'm going to the UFL championship game in DC this week, in which DC's getting a chance to play their championship game at their home field, at Audi Field. So if anybody's going to be in DC and at the game, because I'm going to the game and I'm bringing my butt home, I am not going to be out mingling. But if you're at the game, pull up. Pull up. I'm going to see. I wish I could get. So I'm getting special tickets. Shout out to, and I won't say the name of the people that provided me the special tickets, but your boy's going to be in the suite. 50 Cent's going to be at halftime. But I digress. I was talking about the Stanley Cup Finals. Here we go. It's 2-2. Game 5 is tomorrow. Carolina put off a massive road win in Vegas to tie the Stanley Cup Finals at 2-2, with Captain Jordan Staal scoring 2 goals, including the game winner inside of the third period. All right. There was a history that was made as a goalie by the name of Brandon Busey, starting in relief for Fredrik Anderson, became the first goalie since 1961 to win his playoff debut in a Stanley Cup final. So shout out to him. Carolina last night pretty much controlled the night, finishing with a 28-21 shot advantage with an empty netter from Ellis that sealed it. I thought this was interesting when I was looking up notes. For the 4th consecutive game, both teams rallied from a multi-goal deficit to at least tie. The first time in Stanley Cup final history that that's happened in 4 straight games. I'm going to check Polymarket to see if there's odds on it happening for a 5th straight game. And I'm going to check to see how my budget is looking, and I might throw some small money on it. See if it could happen for 5 times in a row. Especially if the odds are like, if the odds got 2 zeros behind it, I'll throw in 50. Why not? Carolina, who was the top seed in the East, with a 53-22-7 record. Vegas came in, swept the President's Trophy, winning over the Colorado Avalanche to get here to the finals. Both teams have been dominating in these playoffs, so it's no surprise that this game is a back and forth matchup that is happening here for the NHL. Now, this series has been 4 straight thrillers in a row. Some are calling this, if you're a big hockey fan, one of the best Stanley Cup finals in years. So for those of y'all out there watching and or listening, because we do put this out on audio format, I'm pretty sure that y'all are excited. This is great for the sport if you are a fan of that sport. 100%. I'm curious if Vegas can recover going back to Raleigh for that hostile game 5 tomorrow. If you were to ask me who's going to take game 5 to go up in the series and try to close it out in game 6, I always like the home teams and their odds while playing at home. So I'm going to give my matchup and who I think is going to take this. I know how people feel about Vegas in general and Vegas sports teams, but I'm going to have the home team winning game 5, and Carolina's going to close things out in game 6. For our clippers and our editors, clip that shit. Let's see how far we into the live stream. At 31 minutes into the live stream, King Stradamus has made his prediction that this isn't going to go to a game 7 series. Carolina's going to close it out in 6. Book it. Matter of fact, go bet on that. Now, as we were talking here, getting through, I want to say that the NBA Finals have started to kick off. Let me come over here and go check my browser source and see where we're at, in which the San Antonio Spurs are playing against the New York Knicks in game 4 in New York, with New York leading the series 2-1. Right now, Vegas has this favorite for New York by 2.5 points. The total on this is 216.5. That's still a low scoring total, if you ask me. Like, I'd like to see a 230 in one of these, but the way that San Antonio plays, you don't get that back and forth high scoring against a team that plays good defense the way that they do. Now, I can't play the video, but there was a video that was sent to me that had a fight occurring. And this is why certain cities, you have to be mindful about what you do. I can't, can I play? No, I can't play the clip. It is definitely going to get us banned. But there was a fight that broke out in New York after game 3, in which a guy wearing the Tim Duncan Spurs jersey was just walking. And you had these young, looked like they were between the ages of 17 to 22. Definitely youthful, young men, young boys. I'm going to call them boys because of how they acted. Getting up in this guy's face as he's just walking down the street, right? And then they started they provoked the dude. So the guy started swinging. He basically started defending himself. And then next thing you know, this guy who's solo wearing his San Antonio Spurs jersey, who might be from New York, but just a Spurs fan, gets his ass whooped on the streets. He don't know who to punch because all he sees are people in Knicks jerseys. It looked like at one point, so people were trying to come up to help him, but yet he don't know. So he just, he's swinging. He's trying to do the 1, 2, 3, 4. Shout out to our last guest. He taught me to punch. He taught me like the different punch combinations. But all he was doing is it wrong place, wrong jersey, walking down the street, and then he gets jumped. There are places that you have certain places, certain situations, you have to be mindful about what it is that you're doing. I would not go to Philadelphia, Philadelphia is what a buddy of mine calls it, who lives in Pennsylvania, so he can say that. If Philly was in the NBA Finals, or they were the host of the Super Bowl and their team was in the finals as well, especially when they're losing. Really, it don't matter whether they're winning or losing. Philadelphia, New York, trying to think of other places that just have rowdy, unruly fans that you even if you're a fan of one team, you want to have the back like a backup jersey to just swap in and out of. Let me think. So let me tell y'all, Baltimore doesn't make the list. You go to an Orioles game or a Ravens game, you see people smiling. You see folks like friendly banter, like, hey man, hope y'all show up to play today, man. Lamar Jackson about to get in that ass. Pause. But even Baltimore, you've got that friendly competition in which people that are showing up wearing the opposite jersey don't have to worry about if they're going to get beat down just for walking down the street. New York, I do not recommend you wearing a San Antonio Spurs game outside, especially if the Knicks end up losing. Don't do it. I would just run. Or wait until you know you're near police so that if people act ignorant, maybe you can get help to arrive safely back to your hotel or wherever it is that you're staying at. But that game's about to tip off here shortly. I did one DraftKings lineup, which I'm going to see. Actually, I'm going to try to pull this up here. We're going to do this live.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
All right, I'm logging in now. Seeing if I could get this. I got 2-factor authentication set up because being that I work around IT and all, you want your 2-factor authentication set up properly so people don't try to jack your shit. Let me get logged in here. All right. So I'm logging into my DraftKings. And I'm going to see if I can show my information as far as like how my lineup is set up. Oh, man, y'all can see. I don't know. I might not be able to show this. Y'all going to be able to see how much money I got in my account. And I ain't trying to show that either. So while I am, yeah, I'm not going to show it. I want to show it, but I'm not going to show it. I did a showdown in which you have 6 players, 1 person as the captain. You got to pick 6 players with a 50,000 salary, and everybody has an associated salary for who they are. The captain spot gets 1.5 points based on the fantasy point scoring system that DraftKings uses for the NBA, but also their salary is 1.5 times higher as well. Who you pick at captain matters because that can help you separate yourself from the other field of bettors in the showdown. So I did the one, it's the $25 NBA showdown that has 37,647 total people that are a part of it. And it's $25 per entry for this particular contest. I use Josh Hart at captain because Wemby and Brunson are your highest people for salary. So while they are going to get you a fairly high amount of fantasy points, you still want to get 6 people total within that 50,000 salary restriction, if you will. And from what's called a large field tournament or a GPP, you want to try to get that where you hit all the 6 people, but you want a differentiating lineup that's going to be different from others. Now, DraftKings does cap the amount of entries that you can enter. So not like one person can just go in and put all of the different possible lineups in to try to guarantee that they'll hit. And I want to say for this one, the maximum number of entries that you could have, I think, was 150. So if you got long bread and you want to play in something like this type of a tournament on DraftKings, where you can try to put multiple entries in to possibly get that best lineup that can be unique enough to win it all, then certainly put in that money and hope that you have a profit at the end of the day. My money ain't that long. A couple of years ago, maybe 2021 or 2022, and I'm gonna see if I can find the receipt so that y'all just don't think that I'm talking. I won a tournament. I won one of those large tournaments that had a large top prize. The unfortunate thing is I split it with about 50 people. So it was still a decent payout for like spending $20 to $25. I think I ended up getting, it was like $15,200. It was when the Cavs were in the finals playing against I forgot who the Cleveland Cavaliers were playing against, but it was when LeBron was with the Cavs. And what was significant about that was Josh Hart on one of those teams? I can't remember who it was, but I played somebody who wasn't getting any minutes. And if you're only going to do one lineup like me, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And fortunate enough for me, that lineup ended up hitting. All right. So we've got tip off right now. On the court, you got I like to call him Champagne, Wembanyama, Fox, Vassell, and Castle for the Spurs. The New York Knicks got Anunoby, Towns, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and Brunson. Towns already has one foul starting out very early on, and San Antonio's got the first 2 points on the boards here. So if you pick the Spurs being the first on the board, bravo. As De'Aaron Fox just hit 2 free throws. He was somebody that I was heavily favored and looking at being on the winning team tonight. And the Knicks just got on the board as well. Looking at, let's see who got the points for the Knicks here. Nope, I had to refresh. No, yeah, Cat actually, Karl Anthony Towns got them on the board as well. And the Spurs look like they just hit a 3. This game is kicked off. Vassell hit the first 3-point in this series. Let me see here. We got this was interesting. I think I can play this too. Let me bring this up on X over here before we continue. All right, we got the round mound of rebound. Charles Barkley himself ended up saying something hilarious, and I'm gonna cross my fingers that I could play this without getting booted here. Let's see. Let's do this again. I think I got it. All right, here we go. All right, let me unmute it. Let me full screen it. And let me hit play. This was from the NBA on TNT. Check out what Charles Barkley said. He is great for TV. Great for TV. And
competing with Cardi B here. We lost. Hey, I don't know if those B's, that might be Cardi B's. I sure am, new love indeed. I'm pretty sure those are B's. I don't know. I don't know who said that, but I know it wasn't Chuck, you let her dig. You can't let that me, cause I told you to. She got the wrong initials.
Now, that's hilarious to me. I don't know about y'all, but that is hilarious to me. But it did come with some controversy. Now, Charles Barkley is paid handsomely to give out his sports analysis and sports takes as one of the greatest to play in his profession, as well as be on TV as well. Like, considering what he does, his charisma, the things that he says, I can only hope to be as good as he is doing sports media like this, right? And I'm just a guy behind a camera or in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, talking about what I'm observing on sports. So Charles Barkley, after catching flack for saying that Cardi B got the wrong initials, and I don't have to explain why, on the Dan Patrick show, came out and had to defend himself basically by this.
Does anybody say anything to you? When's the last time management or somebody said, Chuck, can't say that?
Dan, I'm hoping they fire me. You know, I got 6 years. I got 6 or 7 years left on my contract that they know I got no chance of doing. I would love for them to fire me and have to pay me for the next 6 or 7 years. So, I was talking to my agent. I was like, what can I do to get fired where they have to pay me for the whole 6, 7 years?
Yeah.
And I says, yeah, I would love to get fired. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but because like I say, there's zero chance I'm gonna be working the next 6, 7 years. Zero.
Man, that must be nice. As they say, must be nice. You get out you're able to ink out a 6 to 7 year contract. And he just said twice, they don't have him for 6 to 7 years, but they got to pay him for 6 to 7 years. And part of that is him joking, being facetious and things like that. But at the same time, man, what a life. What a life. Now, with this finals here, this is basically a rematch of the 1999 NBA Finals, in which the Spurs won that one. It's also a rematch of the 2025 NBA Championship Cup game, which Coach and I already covered. Now, while the Knicks are leading this 2-1 after the Spurs snapped New York's 13-game playoff winning streak in Game 3, for only the second time in NBA history, the road team have won each of the first 3 games. The only other time that has ever happened was in 1993 in a matchup of the Suns versus the Bulls. Also, interesting enough about Game 3, it drew 23.8 million viewers, becoming the most watched NBA Finals game since 1998. There was a lot of fury online when the cameras caught famous rap producer, I'm gonna call him music producer, DJ Khaled, sitting on courtside seats on his phone for most of the game. And if y'all were watching one of our live streams in the past, we talked about what the ticket prices were for the NBA Finals played in New York at Madison Square Garden. Courtside tickets were selling for somewhere north of $60,000. Higher than that, depending on what side of the courtside you were sitting at. Imagine how much money you have to be able to drop down somewhere north of $60,000 on tickets and be in your phone like this the entire game, not paying attention to the game. That's crazy. I'm trying to get rich enough to where I can have that kind of problem. Now, for the Spurs to win, the alien, aka Wembanyama, has to be a factor like he is every single night. All right. So if you take a look at his games, his numbers have gone up. 26 points, 29 points, 32 points. And with him going over 30, that's how the Spurs got their first win. His field goal percentage, 28.6 in game 1, which was tragic, 52.4% in game 2, 61% in game 3. Absolutely dominant. He's also lucky that he did not get a flagrant foul called against him, in which he basically kid shoved Brunson's head down to the ground. He's lucky that that one didn't get called, because if I'm the Knicks coach, I'm trying everything I can to provoke Wembanyama so that he could get filed and suspended on another flagrant call. Now, while his field goal percentage did increase, his three-point attempts have actually decreased. He shot 9 in game 1, 6 in game 2, only 4 in game 3. But the Spurs picked up in other areas to make this game and this series a lot more interesting. So he's becoming basically somebody that's looking at getting more points in the paint, which is crazy considering how tall he is. How are you going to shot block somebody that's like 10 feet tall? He's becoming more efficient and dangerous for the Spurs team. So for them to win, he has to be dominant. Can't take no series or no times up or down the court off. And those guards, both Vassell and Castle, also have to step up and do their part as well. The Knicks won game 1 with Josh Hart shooting like shit. Josh Hart played a better game 3 and lost overall. Now, speaking of going over and talking more about the Knicks, Brunson dominating. The guy's almost unguardable. While he is averaging like 30 shots a game, he is still getting about 4.3 assists per game as well, but he has way too many turnovers. And the Spurs are starting to trap him aggressively as well, with Steven Castle dogging him on almost every possession, but it is causing I want to say Stephon Castle to get into foul trouble very early on as well. So while that play works for a fantasy player like myself, it's frustrating because if Castle gets into foul trouble early, that leads to less minutes with him on the floor. And if you're playing him, which I don't think I played him this game, that could spell trouble for your lineup here. And I'm looking at this right now. The Spurs got out to an early lead. With 9:16 remaining in the first quarter, it says the Spurs got a 10-point lead already, being 12-2. The Spurs are shooting 67% starting out, while the Spurs are 25% with only 4 shots taken total. Yikes. They came out here and said, we about to show y'all what defense looks like, and they putting belt the ass early on. Can they sustain this on the road to tie this series up? I'm definitely going to be watching this game tonight. The Knicks are going to get Mitchell Robinson back, who's available despite having a fractured right fifth metacarpal. He's still been playing through it, which is insane. All right. But if the Knicks were to win and go up 3-1, I don't see the Spurs being able to claw their way out of it. So that's why the Spurs being up early is significant for what they have to do. And consider this. Who do y'all think's playing better right now? Is Wembanyama the best player on the floor? Is it Jalen Brunson? Or is it somebody else? Most notably, one of the guards for the Knicks. I think Josh Hart, because of what he contributes on offense and defense, and not just in points, but assists and rebounds, might actually be one of the best players, like the glue, if you will, for keeping that Knicks team the way that it is. When Hart plays bad, the Knicks don't look like the hot team right now. So we're going to end our live stream today on that note. You've got the World Cup that starts tomorrow. Let me take this off the screen. You've got the World Cup that starts that starts tomorrow. All right. Less than 24 hours, kicking off with Mexico versus South Africa. Again, that is free on Tubi. So make sure that you go over there and watch that. I believe that once the World Cup starts, it's over. Your social media feed is going to be flooded with World Cup news and updates, people showing off their jerseys and things like that. You've got Game 5 of the Stanley Cup tomorrow as well, with that series being tied 2-2. And Serena Williams' quarterfinal match is coming up later on this week at the Queen's Club. So, 2 championships up in the air. The World Cup starting tomorrow. Serena Williams just reminding us on Earth that you missed her with her gone, but she was never really gone. I think with everything that we have, if you are somebody at a sports bar, that this is one of the best things that you can have around this time. So many different world events, different storylines. I didn't even get into there was an article that somebody sent to me in which 4 players got suspended indefinitely, barred from playing in college football because they college basketball. And I don't have the story up in front of me now, but they threw a game for a total of $2,000 split between 4 people. Like 2 people got $700 each, and the rest got like $300 each. Banned for life for less than $1,000. In the era of NIL, what the hell are you thinking? That's my time, y'all. Shout out to K-Mill for stepping in on the week that I wasn't co-hosting, as my lady had to get stitches. She is fine now, by the way. There were some people that had asked about that, and I can't remember if I missed last week or the week before that. I am the actual King Smith. Coach, who's normally here, is with me as well. To everybody watching and or listening, I give you a salute, and I'm out. Peace.